Oh, oops. I forgot that I adjusted my computer. Hello. Stardew stream cooking time. Yippee. Rules of this challenge. Number one, number zero, I'm cooking all of the foods from Stardew Valley that you can cook. Rule number one, have to use all the ingredients listed in the game. Rule number two, I can add any other ingredients that I want that make sense, as long as they are not in Stardew as cooking ingredients. Um, asterisk, 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 maybe today. I've run into a problem. We'll see. Rule number three, as much as possible, create the recipes myself. But baking, I don't really have to do that because making up baking recipes from scratch is kind of hard. Four, as much as possible, use local and or foraged ingredients. Rule number five, as much as possible, take inspiration from the in-game images and descriptions. Rule number six, as much as possible, try to make them actually tasty, even if they're not necessarily pitched as it. Rule number seven, have fun. I'm doing two today. I'm doing bread and parsnip soup, um, because I think that soup and bread is a sensible thing to make together. So my plan is I'm gonna like get started on bread stuff, and then while it's rising, because it needs to do like two 25-30 minute rises, um, I will work on soup things. Step two, after explaining the rules that I've put myself to, explaining what I'm making. Bread, a crusty baguette. I am in fact using a baguette recipe. Ingredients, wheat flour. That's the only one. This is where we may run into a complication um, in my rule set. And then parsnip soup, if I can pull up the page, it's fresh and hearty. Parsnip, milk, vinegar. So, those are the things that I'm making for dinner. So the thing about bread is that it has yeast in it, and I can use yeast because there's no yeast in Stardew. Um, the problem with that is that yeast needs to be activated with sugar, and the bread recipe in Stardew Valley does not contain sugar. Um, so I'm gonna do a little bit of experimentation, because this recipe is pretty easily halved. So and it makes two baguettes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one where I follow the recipe because this calls for honey as the sugar to activate the yeast, and I'm gonna do one without anything and see if the yeast works at all. I'm expecting it to like not really activate, and the bread probably won't really rise, and it might be bad, but I'm gonna try it for the integrity of the challenge. However, so I've been avoiding honey as like an alternative sweetener because there's honey in Stardew Valley. So by my rules, I've been sort of assuming that it is off limits. However, I did, because I was like, this is a major problem for bread, I did look it up. And it's not used as an ingredient in any cooking recipes in the game. So it is an item that is available in Stardew. I believe you can eat it. I don't remember. I know you like didn't used to be able to, I think. And maybe in 1.6 you can now actually eat honey, or maybe you can just eat mayo. Who knows? I don't know. Not particularly relevant to this conundrum. What is relevant is that it's there's no recipes that call for it. So I kind of feel like maybe maybe I will allow it. Um, I'm not totally sure if there are any other recipes that this would really come up in. It might just be bread. Um, so we'll see. Um, and if the one that I make without any any sweetener comes out okay, then I'll call that one the one that's for the challenge, and the extra baguette will just be, you know, another thing that I happened to make at the same time. But if it turns out, like absolutely terrible and is just like a cracker and is clearly not a baguette, then maybe honey's allowed. Um, because I feel like for the most part, all of the recipes that are like sweet call for sugar. All of the desserts do, I think. I'm thinking like ginger ale even calls for it. So I think it may be all right. So I have put honey into one of the bowls that I have, and the other one I will put no honey in. This also calls for the recipe has you activate 2 packets of yeast in half a cup of water. Um, and oh, I guess pizza is one that honey may be relevant. I don't know. I was kind of assuming that that one I would just like honestly just like make the crust be a little bit like thin and crackery. And like not worry too much if it like doesn't rise. Okay. Gonna get the one in the no honey bowl. Um, and I'm gonna actually dissolve the honey before I add the yeast. And we'll see if this other one activates at all. This is active dry yeast, not instant yeast. I don't know if there is a difference vis-a-vis being able to be activated without sugar. Um, don't know. It's not the most important. I'm just trying to get this so that the honey is kind of in the water and not entirely just stuck to the bottom of this bowl. Good enough. We'll do this. Oh yeah, but my recipe that I use usually when I make pizza dough is 1 packet of yeast, and you activate it in um a cup of water. So I don't know if this is gonna be weird or different. This needs probably like 5 minutes, yeah. Until it foams its yeast. What are you gonna do? Okay, in the meantime, I'm gonna like figure out my game plan for the parsnip soup. Um, I got, I did get organic parsnips because that is the only parsnips I could find. Um, I also don't think I've cooked with parsnips before. Um, I'm thinking my approach will be I'm gonna do sort of like how I typically make potato leek soup. Speaking of, I'm gonna get out the onion that I have in here, because I'm just maybe I'll use another onion. And have like a bit of onion that is already. I'll do another kind of small onion. Um, so I'm going to I think cook just like in the pot before I add any liquid, like brown the parsnips and the onion. Um, and I'm going to sort of do that I'm gonna take some of the parsnip out, I think, um, and have that kind of be in chunks in the final soup. Um, and then I'm gonna add, you know, liquid. I should maybe have gotten additional veggie broth. I think I have like 2 cups ish. So I may need to sort of add water as well. So I'll figure it out. Uh, I may actually be good on liquid. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it seems like it's too thick. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna the cook the parsnips and then soup in the pot with them. Cook them through the rest of the way. Actually, I guess I'll probably cook them and then take some out. And then I'm gonna blend it. Uh, Depending on volume, I may do it in my regular blender because that's a little more powerful than my immersion blender. Um, we'll see, and then re-add whatever bits of parsnip. Um, yeah, and just sort of season it. I don't know. I'm gonna drop my measuring cup on the floor because the parsnip rolled over and knocked it off. Um, so I'll get to that. Oh, don't go away from my recipe. No. Get, yes. There you are. There's the recipe. Come back to me. Okay. Yeah, there's a few things that this recipe calls for that I can't use. It calls for canola oil, but that's only for greasing the bowl. Okay, I guess that's actually the only one. It calls for dusting the pan with cornmeal. I use flour, which I can use as much flour as I want on this because it is the only ingredient that's actually called for. Um, yeah. Oh, cool, awesome. It has you mix the dry ingredients in a bowl and then add the yeast to it. I do not have that many large bowls. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We may have to do this a little bit one at a time. I'll do the one with the honey first, and then that'll free up this bowl. Can do the second batch in it. Um, I see. Lightly lovable. Yeah, I'll probably just put them in. I'll let them rise in non-plastic bowls and believe in my heart that that will work. In the meantime, I'm gonna get the flour and salt mixed together. Where's my cup? There it is. 2 cups flour, teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon that it's wet. There we go. Mix this together. It says to use a dough hook. I don't have one of those. I'm gonna use a fork. And okay, you add the yeast mixture and then you add additional water. Okay. Let's take it off, put it in the sink. It shall come back when I need it. Yeah, the the yeast that has honey in it is definitely foaming a little bit, and whereas the one that is just water is, I mean, there's like a little bit of foam, but not very much. How long has this stream been going for? Does OBS tell me? I don't recall. Yes, it does. 20 minutes, and I started like 5 minutes early. Yeah, it's probably been like 5 minutes. Okay. I think this is probably good. All right. I will add the yeast in part one, and then sort of mix that in. I'll have to like label somehow the which one is which. Which one is the yeast that will actually be real and have something to eat. Okay. Cup of water. Okay, that's sort of in bits, since the recipe's like, oh yeah, you might not need the full cup. Definitely need more than that little splashy though. What, I just want it to turn into a dough, but yeah. I think I probably am gonna want a little bit more water in here. Some of this flour that's at the edges. But this is definitely coming together with far less than a full cup of water. Okay. I would say that this is not too sticky. Mhm. I need a floured surface. This is part of the reason that I was like, let me do the bread first so that I can get my counter all messy and put things on the stove for more space before it's actually been turned on. Okay, now I gotta knead it. Go for more flour, honestly. Get sprinkled. All right, the other yeast is in fact foaming, so that's good. I'll knead this and then I'll do the other one. Um, I guess I'll actually probably just do it in the same big plastic bowl, and then I'll return them to their ceramic bowls to rise. Get out of here. I should put that somewhere I won't forget it. Want it to be smooth and elastic, to not stick to my hands or my counter. I think I know what the next one of these that I do is gonna be. I believe it will be time for the pink cake. Um, I'm going to so I did a little bit of sort of melon-based research. In that I like looked for like what kinds of melons exist to try and figure out what kind of melon to use as the melon for Stardew Valley recipes. And I was not able to. I think this is probably pretty close to being done kneading. Um, the thing is that it doesn't really seem like there is a real life melon that. Actually, you know what? I will. I will grease the bowl with butter. Just because that's probably not a bad idea to make sure it doesn't stick. Um, and also because I need to use butter, I think, to cook these anyway. So it's not this. For the soup, there will be butter involved in the soup. Um, I may also briefly like take a look at a couple cookbooks and look at the soup recipes I've made before that like have vinegar in the broth and like that have both vinegar and milk or cream just to check sort of the order of operations that those get added in, just to make sure that I'm not going to be like uh you get covered, just to make sure that I'm not going to be like curdling the milk. Um, I know when it's like a soup, usually it like kind of is just fine. What we need to get rid of this so we can measure cups again of flour. All right. Another couple cups of flour, and we have the other yeast has foamed, which is honestly better than I was expecting. I kind of thought it wouldn't activate at all. Come on, there we go. Oh yeah, pink cake plans. So I I'm gonna I looked into like what kind of melon is pink on the outside, and the answer, as far as I could find from an admittedly kind of cursory search, is none of them. Um, there are plenty of sort of pink insides for melons, but the outsides tends to not be that. So we'll see basically how what if I can find additional information. But I'm leaning towards there is a grocery store that has some like wild and wacky melons that I wouldn't hate to try. Um, and see if those seem like they would be good to cook with. But I'm leaning towards probably using them. Because it's pink on the inside. Um, it is I know that I will be able to acquire it. Um, I do like watermelon. Um, and I can probably figure out like and it's quite easy to juice. So I'm thinking I'll use the juice of a watermelon as some manner of like liquid that goes into the batter and like maybe some of the sugar as well. Specifics to be determined. That's one that I think I'm gonna like probably find generally like a base recipe, but do a good amount of like planning before I actually start cooking, to modify it, and come up with a plan. But I'm gonna make that one soon because my sister brought me some dried watermelon, um, that I think I can incorporate in there. I'm thinking probably as like part of either as the topping, because I know it's like got little like candy topping, or like maybe mix into the frosting or something. I'm not sure. Haven't totally decided yet, but I want to use the dried watermelon for the pink cake because I think that'll be really fun. Interesting. I feel like this one is like needing more water to come together. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it like kind of needs the same amount, but I feel like it's taken more. Come on. I know you're gonna be the most unsweetened dough in the history of baking. I'm sure that's not true. The history of baking is quite long. Okay. Yeah. Put some more flour on the thing. Up. All right. Kneading part two. I'm done with this big plastic bowl. Honestly, I don't love that big plastic bowl. I wish I had like a big bowl that was like glass or something, metal. I would love to get some nice big metal bowls. Don't really have anywhere to go is the problem. I feel like I had a thought I was going towards, and I forget what it was. Oh well, meeting part two. Um, Alright, cool. Gonna grease this bowl real quick. Wipe it out. There's a little bit of yeast mix still in there. Pop this one in here. Find another towel. Surely, yeah, I can put a towel in here. Alright. Cover this bad boy up. Actually kind of squish it down a little bit, or a towel can be fine. Pop that there. That needs 25 to 30. I'll set a timer just so I don't like completely lose track of time. And then I'm gonna get working on this soup here. will actually license the counter a bit. Not, completely, but enough to feel like I'm playing it two fix. Okay. I'm gonna heal these bad boys. Okay. Yeah. Gonna peel these. I really don't think I've had parsnip before because I did not realize that they were all like pale and stuff on the inside. So this will be a fun experience to try a new veggie. I think we like kind of assumed I'd had it once or twice, but I'm probably just thinking of of turnips because turnips and have in fact cooked with on one of these before. Um, I've had like I don't know multiple kinds of turnips. They're fun. Um, they're like I think I pickled some a few months ago. There's actually honestly a chance that I still have some of the pickled turnips. I do not remember. All right. Gonna just kind of like trim these like carrots, and then slice them up. And to the bowl to put these in since I have decided to use my smaller cutting board. This feels like, and like maybe it's just that they're kind of similar in color and both, uh, like a similar density, I guess you could say. Um, but this is kind of, reminding me of like Emma, um, which is like Honestly, jicama I feel like is kind of a fruit that's just like fun, but it's not like that. Like it's not bad. I like it well enough. It's got like a fun texture. But just like the flavor is not that strong. I don't know. Maybe I just like haven't had very good jicama, which is entirely possible since it's like I don't know. I feel like it seems like the sort of thing they would have access to pretty good quality of in California, which is like I've had it there and it was like fine. It's kind of just like I don't know. I think the things I like about it are similar to things I like about like pear, but pear also has like a nice pear flavor. And Hikima is like mainly texture. It's also honestly possible I got too much turnip or parsnip. Um, I was like three is probably a good amount to make soup out of. Um, however, I honestly have kind of a lot of leftovers this week, already so far. So perhaps I will be doing a leftovers dinner tomorrow instead of just eating leftovers for lunch. Where's the onion? We shall see. Oh, there. Yes. I can already tell that I'm going to my eyes are going to water a lot cutting this onion. So the strong and powerful onion. Luckily, I'm gonna just slice it, I think. I'm not gonna like dice it up because this is all just sliced. Um, I think this is like even after grease the things, I think this is like almost 2 tablespoons of butter. I think that's probably enough. I can always add more butter later if I need. So I'm gonna melt it and then get these here veggies cooking. Shoot a little spatula. Actually, I can probably use my wooden spoon on account of this will be soup. So a spoon is a sensible thing to be using to um move stuff around in the pan. I thought that I didn't know where this spoon was for the longest time, and I thought that my old roommate had just like taken it with him when he moved out, which like would have been fine. I could get another wooden spoon. Um, but then I like cleaned out a corner of my room and I found it, and I was like, "Why is this here?" Um, but wooden spoons back. It's totally. Not normal. Alright. Throw the onions in here. Hopefully this hopefully this pot ends up being big enough. I think it'll be alright. Um and I think that if I tried to make more soup than would fit in this pot for just me, that would be a bad idea. Honestly, I may even see if some of my friends want to come over and take some of this off my hands. We'll see how much I have when I'm done. Okay. I'm gonna let the onions cook for a few minutes and then throw the parsnips in. And in the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can find uh, what kind of mushrooms did it call for? I don't remember. I'm sure there's an index in this book. Um, 42. Okay, so this has you do. Okay, this has you mix vinegar straight in with the cream. So I should probably be fine to sort of do as I please in incorporating the required ingredients into this soup. All right. Parsnips. The downside to this is that these definitely don't brown as I have them, and I'm trying to decide if I feel like getting out a pan that's larger. I kind of honestly do want to do that, although like I feel like there's it's good to like do it in the pot that you're then gonna add all of the broth and everything to, because that like I feel like you're not like losing flavor that you just left in the other pot or pan or whatever it is that you use. It's fine. All right. I also like don't have a good sense of how long snips take to cook. So maybe I should have saved one of them and done like what is it, farmer's lunch? Is that the one that's like an omelet and the parsnip? Oh well, I can get more parsnips when I get around to doing that one. They do like carry them at the regular grocery store, but they were out when I was grocery shopping this past weekend. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll just like go to the other grocery store. I needed to also go down to the Asian grocery store to get some more soy sauce and some like bean sprouts and I think there was some other thing I needed. Oh, I needed shiitake mushrooms. And there's like also like an organic grocery store that's on the way home from there. So I was like, all right, I guess we're going to a bazillion grocery stores. Which honestly is kind of fun. Okay, you should I'll let you go a little bit. Um, okay. Let me think about what else I need. I think I'm gonna do apple cider vinegar. I do also have got is it in here or is it in the other pantry area? Oh, it's in here. I do also have white wine vinegar. I'll use one of the two. I don't know. I'm not sure which will go better. I'm kind of feeling apple cider vinegar. Oh, broth. Actually, I think in here somewhere I may have. Actually, I guess probably I honestly probably will have enough liquid just between the broth and the milk. Um, I think somewhere I have like Onto chili water, unless I just decided not to save it. Um, I think now is a good time to add some seasoning to to this here veggie mix. I'm gonna add some. That's probably too much salt. Add a big pinch of salt and a little pinch of salt. Um, and then we'll throw some pepper and oh, you know what might be good is if I put some parsley on top of this soup. I'm honestly not the like hugest fan of parsley. I feel like I don't it's fine, but I don't love it getting to be like the or like I don't like it if it's like the overpowering flavor in something, and I feel like it kind of gets there easily. All right, I'm just gonna do thyme and Italian seasoning, and mix that up as along with the like salt and pepper that I added. I feel like that'll be good. Kind of want to add mustard to this. I think if I do, I'll do that at the end, but like I may also not need it since it does like already call for vinegar and like one of the sort of benefits, I guess, of using uh mustard in like a creamy dish is that it's like some acid. Okay. The bread is both rice. This is actually kind of awesome. I'm impressed and surprised. Double in size. Okay. It also says to do a warm environment, which honestly I don't really have. I thought about like going and putting it like near the window in the next room over. But I just like a little bit before starting this, I just turned off the AC. So probably by the end of this, I'll be like, why is it so hot in here? And it's gonna be because it's like 90 degrees outside and I don't have the air conditioning running or like any fans on. I may actually, I probably will actually go turn a couple fans on, but it will still. I mean, it's like it's already a little bit warmer than usual in here. But that also means that there won't be uh like cold air blowing from vents onto where it is. So I figure that's like kind of sufficient for a warm area. And with this burner on, like the rest of the stove top over here is probably reasonably warm. Um, I am wondering if it would be good to add a little bit of soy sauce. Like I did just add salt. Maybe Worcestershire sauce actually more than soy sauce. I'll throw a little bit of that in there. Um, I'm also gonna figure out. Hi, Connie. I'm gonna figure out if these parsnips are like cooked well enough to start out. I'm realizing that this soup is absolutely gonna be done way before the bread is done, which is fine. Okay, it's still kind of firm. We'll also find out if I like parsnips. It's definitely sort of a carrot adjacent texture and flavor. Can do it. I feel like it'll make a pretty good soup. I'm also wondering if like this would be a good maybe I should just adapt this recipe and try making a carrot soup because I've made like a carrot beet soup before I think, and I feel like I've also done some other sort of veggie soup that had a strong carrot element to it that ended up being like blended. I think this is probably. I think what I'm gonna do is add. I'll even measure it out. I'm also. I think probably I'll want to add. I think I want to simmer it for a while in broth, and then not right at the end, but near the end, add the milk. But I will make. I'll do the broth and the vinegar and the Worcestershire sauce. I'm also just gonna throw this milk back in the fridge since I don't know how long it'll be before I need it. Let's see. 1 cup? How much does that do? I think I want. That's probably good, honestly. Where's my tablespoons? Let's do like 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Can you make vinegar in Stardew? I don't remember. I know you can like get it from Pierre's. Um, I'm sure you can. I don't know what do you make it out of? And then we'll do 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. The parsnips were not like overly salty, so I think adding a little bit more salty stuff is probably fine. And then I may do just like a little bit more broth. Um, and I will bring this to a boil, simmer it for a while. Might even simmer it for like 20 minutes. Um, so down there. I'll leave this out. I don't yet know if I want to add more. Okay, a couple of these parsnips are like browned, which I'm a fan of. I'm also gonna try this a little bit. Pretty vinegary, which I'm kind of into. I may do a little bit more Worcestershire sauce, just because like it's only gonna get less salty with milk added, and I think it's like a little bit more savory. Good. I may. Hmm. Do I use nutritional yeast? I did. stock back up on my nutritional needs. Let's go for it. Throw some of that in there. Play some random thing by touching my headphones. I truly have no idea what. Um, okay, yeah, I will let that boil. It is almost already boiling. Watching the pot. Okay, yeah, that's definitely playing. Simmer. I will cover it, I think. Got 3 minutes left on this. I would say that these are doubled in size, so um, I will do the next bread step. Just gonna throw this stuff in the sink. That's for double floor, fine. Alright. Alright, got these. What do we do? Punch it and divide it in half. I don't really need to do that on account of I already halved each of the recipes, or halved the recipe for each of them, but gotta make it on, gotta make it egg shaped, and then, sorry, Tony. Alright, gonna do a little bit of, I feel like it wants you to, okay, it's the sheet pan or baguette. We're good. Um, I am just going to use the piece of tinfoil so that it's easier to clean. Then I'm going to dust it with flour. And I'm going to rinse the hand off. And then okay, punch it down. And then make it into a baguette. I'm going to flour the counter again. Okay. A flat rectangle. And then do fold it like an envelope. Sure. Okay. I guess. Okay. Sure. That works. And you pop that bad boy seam side down. We are gonna score them for uh we let it rise again. I'm also going to grab this here Sharpie and do an H and an N on the tinfoil. Another reason to use it for honey and none. So we will be letting this rise again. So we're gonna put you back. This is the one I'm gonna use. Alright. Make a flat rectangle. And fold it in to a baguette shape. Spoon side down. Bada bing, bada boom. Sure. I'll just use this knife. All right. And then recover. I am actually going to put this over here for now and clean the counter and put it on the counter. Um, because I am going to preheat the oven. Then set a timer for 25 minutes because that's how long it says to let them sit and double in size. Um, we'll see if it takes that long. It may take less time than that. Um, slice my onion. Okay, I think I'm good on flour. You can go away. Shall lay to the counter of the flour and put this here instead of in the more precarious spot that it was. Mhm. Cool. I'm gonna wash some bowls here. Um, I am so I just don't really need much to be washed yet. I'm gonna still use it. Whoopsie. Um, so in addition to my Stardew Valley cooking experience, I think I've maybe mentioned this on another one of these. I had the New Year's resolution for 2025 to cook 50 new recipes. Um, so I'm not counting the Stardew Valley ones on that in part because they are for the most part like improvised um, by design, and in part because I just am tracking them separately, so I'm not putting them on the new recipes 2025 spreadsheet. Um, if I were counting them, I would already be done. Because I'm like one recipe away. Okay, let's see. This seems honestly pretty. Um, yeah, but I'm up to like 49, and I keep putting my forks in the sink. Whoopsie, it's fine. I need to run the dishwasher soon anyway, so can't hurt to throw more forks in there since I have plenty of clean forks still. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna let this keep simmering for a little bit longer. Parsnips are pretty soft, but I don't think it will hurt to let them soften up a little more just so that they're easier to blend. I think I probably will use my American blender. That way I don't have to like take it out of the pot and put it in the blender and blend it and then put it back in the pot and like probably it won't all fit in the blender at once. Um, that'll be easier. I think I think it is probably time though to add. Do we add milk before or after blending? I think before. The one downside to washing dishes as you cook is that um, then you're like, wait, why did I wash the measuring cups that I still need? Okay, I'm gonna add a cup of milk. Mix it together. I'm gonna see how that seems. And I'm gonna drop the milk cap into the void under my thing. Okay. Hmm. Milk seems to be there's a little bit of there's a little bit of playing. Whoopsie. That's okay. Honestly, not that bad. It's like one little dot of it. Okay. You know what I think I might also do, and this I'll do at the end. I think I may also add some sour cream. You know, a little more milk. This is honestly kind of close in color to the in-game parsnip soup. Maybe I won't take any out to have these chunks in here. Let me take a gander once again at the parsnip soup picture. Probably help if I spelled parsnip correctly. Yeah, I mean it's got like little dots. I did forget to update the the thumbnail for this video. I'm hoping I can change it after. Um, but when I'm like scheduling these streams, I just like reuse the stream settings, and I made the thumbnail for this one, and then I forgot to actually update it. Um, but it's okay. Um, yeah, I mean, like I feel like the bits of like Italian seasoning and everything are honestly doing plenty to be that. Um, okay. I meant to have this go for like 5 minutes with the milk, and I do not recall. I think I maybe put it in when it was at 19 on the timer, and we're at 15 now, so I think that's probably good. Gonna turn this off. I'm going to immersion blend it. I think maybe like I'm okay with it if it do it like medium. I think I'm okay if like it doesn't get completely blended and there's like a little bit of chunks. And also I think I'm get you to not completely follow the version. I think I am gonna mute myself just because it will probably not sound that good to just hear the blending. Um, so I will mute myself real quick, and then once it's done blending, unmute. Blending complete. Um, see if we can throw this with pouring soup onto my computer. This is as good as I can get without spilling it, which you cannot really see very much of it. Have to be so honest, it does look like slime. Um, which like I'm fine with that. I don't know about y'all, but I think it's kind of sad that slop has become so associated, I feel like, with what you call like AI you don't like. Because I love some slop sometimes. Just like a meal that is mush. Um, okay. I'm going to also this has you it's too far in there. This baguette recipe has you put a sort of bowl of ham in the bottom rack of the oven below the bread, and you when you put it in, you throw a couple ice cubes in there to um like make the crust crispier with the steam. Um, so I'm gonna put that in there. Guess I should probably also get some ice cubes ready. I'll just that tray's like half full, so I will just do that when it is time to put them in. Let me do a little bit of soup taste testing. Figure out what else it could use. Okay. Is the Worcestershire sauce still out there? Yes, it is. I do think a little bit of Dijon. There's no mustard in Stardew. I can use it. And a little bit of sour cream. I think that'll be nice. Um, and then I am gonna add also a little bit more. Sure, that may be enough mustard. Honestly, I feel like some like steak sauce in here would be pretty good. I feel like yeah. I don't know, there's probably Worcestershire sauce in steak sauce, but I feel like that's like a similar flavor, but a little bit like stronger. But I don't think I have any. Honestly, throwing in some more Worcestershire sauce though was good. You've done your job. You've done what I want out of you. You can go back in the fridge. Honestly, I think the Dijon's good too. It's not like a super strong flavor, but I also don't want it to be like totally mustard flavored. Actually, I feel like sour cream I should add, serve it. So we'll get a spoon out. Um, yeah. Okay. I think this is done. I will just cover it and let it sit. Um, and then probably by the time the bread is done, it will be still be warm, but it will be like a more edible temperature, which will be nice. Um, but I honestly kind of feel like maybe these have risen enough. I don't know. Maybe another couple minutes. I don't think I need to wait another 8 minutes to like reach the full 25. Um, I think that it'll be okay if I don't. Um, oh my god, it's 6:30. Time has passed more quickly than I expected. Hey, how's my team doing? Bad. We're doing bad. My aunts have forgotten how to play baseball. This is really embarrassing for me. I'm gonna blame it all on the fact that I didn't get to recompose a player today. Um, let's see. I was looking over at the end of the recipe. Yeah. Okay. Just need to bake them for 15 minutes. Cool. Oh, yeah, I probably should have also considered that I needed to wait for the oven to finish preheating, but it is done now, and we have 5 minutes left. I feel like these, I feel like these look like they are pretty well risen, and they both rose. Once again, I am quite impressed with the sugarless yeast bread. All right, I this timer off. I'm getting the ice cubes out because it's like, oh, put them all in. I am gonna, I think, do it this way. I'm gonna put them in here. I'm gonna get this out. Um, it's like, oh, throw the ice cubes in, and then immediately close the door. And I'm simply not gonna do that. I know that probably I'm letting like all of the heat escape. Okay. Yeah, that's the goal. Okay. All right. Timer set. Refill my ice cubes. In here. Um, and then I'm gonna put this away. This away as well. Gonna wash. What are you doing out here? Wash this. Um, I'm gonna serve up a little bit of soup. Yeah, there definitely are still some chunks in here. I'm okay with that. Here's the thing. I think that this would be good if I think this soup would be good if I put like red pepper flakes, but I think that counts as hot pepper, which is not allowed per the rules of this challenge. So probably for the leftovers, I'll try that. But for the sake of this, I'll not. But I will put a little bit of sour cream. Maybe hot sauce. I think hot sauce is allowed. Oh yeah, because I use sriracha in the rower. Yeah, I think sriracha is allowed. We'll do a little bit of that. Cool. I'm gonna mix this together. Let's check my slot. Okay. Parsnip soup, official taste test. Pretty good. Root veggie soup. I like. I make this type of soup generally pretty often. Usually I'll do beet or tomato or tomato leek, potato leek. Um, and it's good. I feel like there is a little bit of like, no, I think the spiciness is just from the hot sauce. I was gonna say there's like a little bit of like a spiciness in like a vegetable way from the parsnips, but I ate a chunk of parsnip and it was not spicy. And also earlier when I was taste testing them, they were not spicy. So I think it's just I'm trying to think if it's turnips that I'm thinking of that have like a little bit of like nowhere near as spicy as like a horseradish, but in the same way of a horseradish. Like that type of flavor. I really don't think the parsnips have it though. Yeah. I think I am gonna go turn my AC back on though, because I don't really want for it to be super hot in my house while I'm eating a hot meal in the middle of summer. Um, Not the most pleasant experience. Uh, all that's left is for this bread to finish. I go water my mints. I'm not even gonna um turn my mic off. You get to hear the other rooms of my house. Ooh, my mint is honestly not doing so hot. Looks like there's some. Oh yeah, there's totally new growth though. You're doing. Glad to see it, buddy. I do have a plant in here that I need to plant in the yard that I totally forget what kind of plant it is. My friend gave it to me. Um, and I also have a plant in here that I think is dead. It it's been on the decline for a while. And I tried moving it around, giving it more light, more water, warmer area because my laundry room is like not really insulated. So in the summer it gets really warm in there, and in the winter it gets cold. Um, but I don't think that I am a quite skilled enough gardener or botanist to save that one. So I may look into getting a replacement to put in the pot. Alas, the other plants I got at the same time as that one are doing great though. They live in my office. One of them I just got a really cute little trellis for because it was sticking straight up and then it like flopped over. I was like, "Are you okay?" But I think it just got too tall to sort of support itself. Um, and then I this past weekend was on a little vacation. Got a new tattoo. It's oh, hold on. How? Um, and while I was there, I went to a botanical garden. And in their like little gift shop, they had these really cute like wood leaf shaped trellises that were like crazy expensive, but they were on sale for not crazy expensive. Um, Probably because the regular price was like kind of bonkers. Um, but instead I got it for like $20, which is like, I could have gotten a much cheaper one, I'm sure, at like Lowe's or whatever. Um, but it is really cute. Um, so I feel like that's worth it. I also got a teapot, actually, that's sort of relevant to this cooking thing. I have a teapot. I've already had a kettle, but now I have a teapot that I can like steep loose leaf tea in. It also is kind of annoying to clean, honestly, just because like it's hard to like get in there and scrub, so I like have to just and then once I like get soapy water in there and clean it, then it's like really hard to get all of the soap out. But whatever, it's fine. So now I can make like a whole pot of loose leaf tea at a time instead of just like one little. Where's my doodad? It's around here somewhere. My one like single loose leaf steeper. So now I can actually like go through the loose leaf tea that I have. At a faster rate. I can make a pot of tea this evening. See, what do I got? I do also have plenty of tea. I've got my Fujicha tea, got Gunsmoke tea. I think I showed that off in one of these, and then I have some mango green tea that my sister got me. And then somewhere, where is my mysterious Georgian woman tea? I was actually thinking I kind of wanted to make some mysterious Georgian woman tea. I don't remember where I put it. So I found it. I guess it fell out of the cabinet. Mysterious. Uh-oh, my computer's gonna die. Mysterious Georgian woman tea. That my sister got from a Georgian woman who was drying herbs for tea. Um, and gave them some. Oh, right. I've discovered there's really not anywhere I can. Yeah, there's really not somewhere I can plug this in unless I go back here, perhaps. Will this reach? This might be the most. Oh, yeah, baby. Behind the microwave. Yeah, I'm gonna make some mysterious Georgian woman tea. There's only a minute left for my I guess. I'm sure it actually would have been fine if I hadn't been able to plug my computer in. Wash my hands. I've been eating soup. Let's see. Yes, it's pretty good. Oh, interesting. The honey one is like all golden, and the other one is not. But I do think they're probably both done. All right, I'm putting this back in. And I will surely forget about it. Next time I go to bake something, I'll be like, why is there a pan in here? But it's okay. All right. Picking off the stems, but honestly, I don't know how important that is to do, considering it's like it's not like the sticks are gonna get stuck in there. Whatever, it's a fun thing to do while this bread cools off enough for me to cut it and stuff. I also like really don't know how much of this I should do. I'm gonna make like a full pot of tea, I think. So I think I'm just gonna use all of it. So like I can always like if I don't drink it all, just like cool it off and put it in a jar and do that. I'm a big fan of just like making some tea and then cooling it off. And then having iced tea later. Especially like in the summer. It's like it smells kind of familiar, but I can't quite place what it is. You know what? Screw it. Putting the stems in here too. Spoiling. I'm gonna get out. Well, cooling rack. Pop my bread on there. I did it. All right, cool. We're fine. It's not stuck to the tinfoil. It's still very hot. That's fine. Once this water boils, I'll get the tea steeping and then I'll cut the bread. We're steaming a little. This is an herbal tea, so it probably doesn't actually need to be full boiling. Got that steeping. I'm right into this bread. Alright. Grab a butter knife. We're gonna try it just plain, and then we're gonna try it with some butter. Okay. Alright. My bread. This is so sad. Stardew Valley bread taste test. First I will try the one that is properly following my rules. That has no honey. Honestly, totally fine. Like, it's soft. The texture doesn't feel that different from the one that does have honey. It rose perfectly well. It's not as like golden on the outside as I guess the one like downside, but you can make bread with no sweetener, right? With butter. Okay. So in that case, I'm considering that one the official Stardew Valley Cooking Challenge bread because it follows all of my rules, which means that honey not required. And I guess it means also when I do pizza, I'll probably just leave the sugar out, but I will also try the one that has honey in it. It's like not noticeably sweeter, but there is a honey flavor. Yeah, I mean, both turned out yummy. I'm gonna eat them with my soup. This has been honestly a great success. I was really not expecting the no sugar bread to turn out well, so I'm very pleased that it has. Um, but this did also take honestly longer than I thought it would. Because I don't know, I guess it makes sense. Gotta give the bread like an hour to rise in total. Um, so I will be done with this. Yeah. And next time, probably pink cake. If not next time, coming up soon.